Alright. Alright. Welcome back to Slayers Anime Review, episode number 15. Let's hope I don't get interrupted here because this is a period of time, basically, when I'm recording this, I probably will get interrupted because dinner is probably ready. So, let's go and get this started here. So, we're here discussing for Slayers next, episodes 14 to 21, along which these are for the anime, episodes 40 to 47. 14 to 17 is 4 standalone filler episodes in a row. And then 18 to 21 starts up the adaptation of Book 7. Yes, Book 7. Now, the season itself, basically, I read a line that the season covers books 2, 4, 5, 7, and 8. They apparently, now, 3 was the first third book that's covering the first season of the show. Somewhat. Believe it or not, Book 6 is not adapted for this season. Do not know the reason for it, just is not adapted. And so I had concluded, based on watching the episodes, that Book 2 was covered in episodes 3 through 5, and then, well, 4 and 5 are kind of in the way because of our lower description of these books are pretty much covered in episodes 8 through 13. Yes, they covered 2 books. By the way, the books themselves are not very long, so it's not surprising that these books are covered in 6 episodes. And that's the way it looks like to be with books 7 and 8, covering the last 6 episodes of the season. Well, mostly anyway, so I think in the case of book 7, that's going to be covered, from what I can tell, it looks like that's going to be covered in about 5 episodes, and like the last 4 is covering book 8. So, each episode is pretty much like, basically, up until it gets to 18, it's basically standalone filler. So, these ones are very weird. So, here's what happens. In episode 40 of the show, yes, episode 40. So let's basically have Lena and the whole party look for a map that possibly might be the Clara Bible, even though it really is not. And and they run into some natives, and she has been like 1,000 coinage, and she gets there like, oh, maybe this is a magic book. Nope, it's not. It's basically a dance thing. It is really a completely pointless episode. And she gets so angry he destroys the whole thing. And then we have Battle of the Alchemy Tower. I know what basic... I'm trying to remember what this one was here. This was episode 15 of the show. Let's see if I can find it here, because 15... 15... okay, Big Crash... Oh, this one is basically, let's possibly think, maybe the Clara Bible might be a side of a doll. Nope, not really. It's another pointless. It's actually a pretty interesting episode, but unlike in the case of the episode 14, this one is not. It's pretty much a nothing episode. It's nice. The animation is gorgeous. The voice acting is fantastic, but the story itself, it's weak. 16. In the case of, and forgot to mention 14. Yeah, first time in the series, we kind of see, look like we have a swimming pool in this universe. And we see Lena and Amelia in bikinis. Because why not? Yep, why not? And Zelos pretty much does nothing in these episodes. He just is there. Like, it's not until episode 18 his plot finally comes about. It's like, a lot of these episodes, he just does nothing but stand around and do nothing. He is there to set up basically the end of the season. That's the only reason why he's there. Yeah. So, this whole thing is about playing a version of tennis. Yes, tennis. Which Lena gets disqualified because she destroys the arena. And I think, maybe Clara Bible was here. Nope. Apparently, Zillows basically misread the information. So yeah, another filler episode. And 17 is basically this because it's a 17 episode season. So let's dress up Gowry as a woman. Go because it was a nation of women. Not only him, but also Zengalis as well. And then the joke is by the end, no man can be in this country, despite the fact kids are the population over a bunch of guys are basically forced to be here. They only be here dressed as women because a lot of them are all guys. And apparently the heir, is a woman? Nope, it's a guy. Yeah, completely pointless. Though I did like the whole water thing. I thought that was really cool. I love this. These 4 episodes really are virtually nothing episodes. Are they skippable? Yeah, you can skip them if you want to. I only watch because basically I want to talk about them. But now talking about now we get to 18. Now we get to more interesting stuff. Now, for some reason, I'm not sure why, they decided to move the location of these books out of a city because in the book they were basically set in a city in this country. Here it's just out in the open. Yes, where in these particular episodes, this is where we have debut of the dragon and possibly they basically go to a castle. They find a copy of the Clare Bible, basically the tablet stuff they had from the previous season of the show, which I thought that was really cool. And they run into this basically Aqua, who later on we find out she's basically this wire dragon. Don't know, she's an illusion of her. And they run into Demon Dragon Lord Gav, who is voiced by Dan Green. Those of you who may not be familiar with this voice actor, he's the voice of Yugi Moto from Yu-Gi-Oh! And yes, a bunch of other characters, but Yugi is probably his most prominent character he's ever voiced his whole career. I have seen him in person once. I probably should have talked to him because I really enjoy his Yu-Gi-Oh! Content. And here he plays a villain, not like a hero like he did in Yu-Gi-Oh! So apparently he knows Zelos, where they have passed together, where he apparently refers to Zelos as the Beastmaster, and the fact he works in for apparently Gav is one of the subordinates of this dragon thing that they basically first brought up in the first season of the show. Here it just let's basically have him where apparently these war of the monsters will apparently turn on them. Big mystery surrounding it. So ask what the plans are, and Zeros basically gets beat up. At one point, at the end of 21, he gets his arm chopped off. Yes, he gets his arm chopped off. Though I wouldn't be surprised he's mad to put it back on. Gowry gets a chance to do something. Zengalis does pretty much nothing. Yeah, I watch these episodes. He just standing around. Amelia does some stuff, but Zengalis, not really. He does nothing but stand around. Yes, he is here. He is traveling with basically Lena, and he does nothing. Gowry, surprisingly, he does question some stuff, yes, but at least he does some fighting. He takes out his light sword, and then they have to go to this Dragon Valley, which they run into a golden dragon. And they take him to the original Clare Bible, not a copy of the manuscript. Oh, no. This is the original Clare Bible, which is basically, so Link gets information like why God betrayed him and all this other stuff. And then, of course, she gets out, and of course, then we have basically the original character follow her because of comedy. And she she wants to friends with Lena for destroying, I get the fact, yes, she wants to kill Lena for destroying our country. But the thing is, she's interfering with the show's plot. She's basically here to be a hindrance. And by the way, I have nothing against basically her voice actress. Yes, she passed away a couple years ago. She was awesome as Misty. Rachel Lyles. She is amazing as this character. But the writing-wise, and it's not her fault. It's not the character's fault. It's the writing. This character's here to be a hindrance and basically to take the place of other characters who probably could be in the anime, but they cut out because they wanted to introduce this character. I mean, this woman is beautiful. I love her design. I like the fact she has green hair. Yeah, she's arrogant, obviously, but her purpose in this story is just to be a hindrance. I mean, she's not from, Frankenstein. I don't think she's from the light novels. No, she's not. She's a complete original character who just follows the characters around because what happened the first couple episodes of the show. Yeah. So, but I'm still enjoying this so far. Gower takes his light sword. Of course, we bring back the demon from the previous episodes. Yeah, he comes back here for its Saganto, I think it is. Yes. Yeah. Otherwise, though, I would say of these episodes, I enjoyed 18 and 21. I thought they were really good episodes. But you're probably going to be asking, what did I think of 14 to 17? I would say, now here's the thing. I didn't like 14 and 17. I thought they were the worst episodes of the season. Now, I didn't mind the first two episodes. They were fine. They weren't offensive at all. Not really. I think they were fine. So far, anyways. First episodes are fine. I was not a fan of episode 7. I would say so far, the worst episodes of the season so far, yes, are obviously some of the original content, but it's 7. I was not a fan of 7. And by the way, it's nothing against the voice actors. It just didn't like the episode. I didn't like 14, 15, 16, or 17. I did not like these episodes at all. Like, these episodes to me were completely pointless. The only thing I did like about 14 was seeing Lena in a bikini. Yeah. And that's the only thing I like about the episode. And also, for some weird reason, there's these two twins who suspiciously look like shampoo for Rama Half. They're there for this one episode, so I have no problem being there. It just, the whole episode itself felt almost a complete waste of time. Yeah. I mean, this is a weird thing with this season. Like, you probably think, like, how many filler episodes the season has? Well, the first two, obviously, filler. And it's, yeah, the first two are filler. So are 6 and 7. And 14 to 17. So out of the 26 episodes the season has, you probably would think, like, okay, so, like, how many of the episodes, now, you'd probably think, like, how much of the season, of the second season of the show is filler? Well, the first two episodes are filler. Yes, the first two are. I would say 6 and 7. That's like 4. So, out of the 26 episodes, there are 8 filler and basically 18 canon episodes. Which actually, that's not bad. Not bad at all. I had mentioned this before when I was reviewing the first season of the show, that in my honest opinion, I enjoyed a lot of the canon stuff a lot better in this show than I did the comedy stuff. I wasn't really a big fan of the comedy, but the season's about to wrap up really soon, so we're going to continue it. This one, yes, I still got to do Case Closed and Trigon Stargaze. I'm going to continue with the season until it's wrapped up because there's only 5 more to go. And then I'll be done. Officially. Yes. And we will see return of a character who's not been seen since the end of the previous season of the show. But now we're getting to the good part. Yes, the good part. It's interesting, though, the fact that this is by sheer coincidence that, like in the case of the previous season of the show, 18 has started more canon stuff until the final episode. It's like we have to have the middle be filler for reasons, per se. But now, I know for a fact that Slayer's Try, the third season of the show, is not based upon the light novels. But that is something interesting about Slayer's Try. It just seems as though with this one, from what I've read about it per se, it seems like they'll take elements from the light novels into the season. Yes. But hopefully, now the thing that the first season, the third season, in common with the previous two seasons, is the same amount of episodes. Yes, and then of course, basically they, then for the last two seasons, they're not very long. No, the final two seasons of the show, which are seasons 2, 3, and 4, they are not very long. Like they're like roughly like 13 episodes. So it's gonna be interesting to discuss basically 3 full seasons of basically and original content. But I'm just gonna watch them because I'm interested. That's probably the reason why I'm interested. Now, some of you might gonna be asking this, Nick, are you gonna be reviewing the movies? Yes. The plan is to go through the movies after I finish up the third season of the show. After I finish up Slayer's Try, I will go through all the movies just so I can get through the show. Yep. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Particular video. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, notifications. Next up, Slayers. Okay, next video. Bye.